so I'm back on my weekly Sunday stock watch list. We have a pretty big week this week with the quad witch and the FOMC moving. So things are going to get really, really volatile based on the news and catalysts that we have coming out this week. So keep these on watch. So if you're on the right side, you can make a ton of money. Quick recap from last week. SPY actually broke out of its all-time highs and it's starting to push up a little bit more. We had SE breakout pretty crazy. We had Square break below that support line, but then it bounced. So now it's starting to things are starting to look a little bit good on Square. The reversal here is looking pretty bullish to start moving back towards where it was prior back in March and May. We also had NVIDIA break completely out of this all-time high. It's been continually making this because of the catalyst of the stock split announcement, and I am expecting this to continue upward through the next week as their shareholder meeting is the end of this month. So that one broke out pretty crazy for us, and same with Neo. Neo did a little bull flag, broke out of those resistance lines that I was telling you guys to watch for last week, and it actually made an even higher high of 47. So a pretty good overall, a really good week last week, especially with NVIDIA. That one paid us a ton of money on Friday. So let's get right into this week. This week's going to be huge with a lot of the catalysts going on. So let's dive right into it. I want to put SE on this one big time. It's coming from 285, or it's 285 all-time high, and we're pushing right back to there. We've had some pretty big sell-offs in March and in May, with techs getting sold off, with the interest rate fears rising and all that other stuff. So we could get that again because we have a pretty big meeting this week, but it's really bullish and they're getting a lot of price target upgrades, and it's nearing its all-time highs, and they're taking over the Latin American market against its big competitor, Melli. So I'm going to be breaking out right here at 280, at this 278 or 280 price. I'm going to be all over this stock, riding it all the way to 285 to an all-time high breakout. This one will pay you a ton of money if it breaks out above this 280. It will touch its all-time highs, and it will break through that with continued momentum in a bullish market. So this one's huge on my watch list this week, SE. I'm also throwing a video on there again because this is the last week before the stock split vote from shareholders at the end of the month. And then I want to see this push above 720. We'll see where it goes. It's forming a support at 705 here, and then below that we got a 689 support line. But I would say anything above 700, if it bounces, this thing's going to go much higher before the actual stock split. And then when it stock splits, remember what Tesla did the first day of split, a lot of people hopped into it, and then a lot of investors took their profit and tanked the stock price down. So this one is going to run up a little bit more, in my opinion, until the actual stock split, and then I would sell the news. So I got NVIDIA, I got SE. I really love Square. I'm in some July calls now. I'm in July 220 calls that I think are going to push up crazy over here just based off the technicals and what they're doing, and Bitcoin lessening their bearish market. Things are starting to look a little bit more bullish on Bitcoin. And Square's been falling off of that news. This is where it fell crazy after the whole crypto market kind of collapsed, because Square is pretty heavily invested in crypto market now. But I am in these 220 calls for July. And they're working out great right now because I bottom right around here. But I also want to look for this 223 break this week. This 223 break could easily push us to this 226, 227. And then that 227 above 230, I'm really bullish in the long term. So watch this 223 break to 227. And then if we can get to 230 this week, that would be unbelievable. But it looks like it's gearing up for a nice reversal. We got Square, we got SE, we got NVIDIA. And then I want to look at Adobe. Adobe has a catalyst of earnings this week, and they're kind of going parabolic right now, but a lot of whales are coming in there and breaking out the volume. We have a nice support here at 530, and then we also have another support line right now of its previous all-time high at 536. So 536, 537, look for a breakdown to 530, but there's also some continued bullish movement here going into their earnings on Thursday. So keep this one on watch. And then my final one for this week is QQQ. It's about to break its all-time high. We got the quad witch on Friday, so I'm expecting a lot of buyers to come in before the summer, as long as the Fed doesn't say anything about halting their asset purchases or interest rates rising. So as long as those two things don't come out of Federal Jerome Powell's mouth, I think we're going to be okay for a really bullish week. So keep on watching this 342.80 test, and then to a break to an all-time high. We'll see. It could test this and then bounce right back down. As you can see, we've been pretty bullish over the last couple weeks to a month. If it starts to break down, then we're going to probably see a little bit of a correction here. I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy unless the FOMC comes out with something wild. But the QQQ pushing over here, it's currently sitting at 341.24, and this 342.80 break is something that I would look to get in on the call side. So a lot of bullish calls this week. I'm not really looking for a lot of breakdowns because there's a lot of catalysts that I'm liking, and I'm liking a lot of chart setups. So we got NVIDIA, we got the QQQ, we got Square, we got SE, and we got Adobe. So keep those 5 on watch. And then my honorable mention this week is Airbnb. It didn't really get the breakout like it did, like I had on the watch list last week, but I'm still looking at this 151 break for a pretty big bullish movement. So it bounced over here, kind of formed like a double bottom over here compared to this and this price. And then if I can get to this 150 to 151, I'm expecting a pretty big breakout. So Airbnb is the honorable mention. So there's 6 stocks for you this week. Keep on watch of those, and hopefully you guys can get in some of those and make some good money. We'll follow up next week.